You're listening to the Berks Weekly Podcast. My name is Jason Hugg, and today my guest is Dylan Shively. He does a whole bunch of different things. He's an entrepreneur. He's a motivational speaker. He's going to talk about his story coming up here. And, we'll just kind of get into it. Tell us, we'll give people the little 30-second rundown of who you are, then we'll kind of go into a few more questions.
So roll with it.
Yeah.
All right, cool. So, again, my name is Dylan Shively. I come from the East Stroudsburg area. So it's just about hour 40, 2 hours from here, depending on traffic. 222 is nuts. So it depends. It could be like 5 hours. No, I'm joking. So I came from the East Stroudsburg area. To be straight out honest, there's going to be a purpose behind this. Yeah, I live in Berks County now. I live in
So
Reinholds.
people are like, wait,
why'd you drive up here? I didn't think about that, yeah. So it's still early for me. I'm not a morning person, I will say that. So I live in Reinholds now, and I've lived there since October 2018. Okay. And I gotta say, I like it a lot. I do. It's way different than East Stroudsburg. I don't know if you ever been there, if anybody's ever been there. I don't like it at all. I lived there for a while. How I feel like people talk about Reading, which I think is way better.
So you're telling me you're someone who likes Reading and Berks County better than somewhere else?
Yeah, I know.
Are you sure you want to say that?
I promise. I'm telling you. There's facts you can Google that will surprise you greatly when you even compare Reading to East Stroudsburg. It's nuts. However, so I came from the East Stroudsburg area, and the reason that I moved up here, I had an opportunity to be managing partner at a Verizon retailer. Okay. So I took that journey, and I started coming up here more often to check out the store before everything happened, and I went in, I dived in, and then I came. I don't know what do people call themselves, a Berks County? What are you called here? Is there a thing? There's Floridians in Florida. Is that
Berks
a thing?
Countyan, I guess.
Berks Countyan, something like that. I'm one of those.
If there is, people don't really use it a lot.
Yeah. So it's funny. People. It is completely off topic, but people I've noticed when I talk to them, because I try to introduce myself to as many people as possible, that. I don't want to say they're ashamed of it, but it's one of those things they don't want to talk about it. It's such a bad thing.
Well, that's why I was joking. You're someone who wants to say they're from there.
Go explore somewhere. I promise, if you explore somewhere, you'll start to be a little more grateful for the place you live.
That's true actually, because I'm not from this area. I wasn't born here. I wasn't. I went to college here at Alvernia, and I stuck around because it was something new. I went to high school in Collegeville, which is a much smaller area. There's not a lot of other things. Well, now there's a lot of stuff there. Yeah. But when I was there was no Wegmans. There was none of that.
Sure. Yeah.
But it's kind of one of those things where when you go out and explore different stuff, you kind of see what else is out there, right? And you can find something new. Yeah.
Yep. 100%. So I moved here. And I started the Verizon retailer, opportunity. Things were going good, and but at the same time, I was exploring other things. But so pretty much to wrap up who I am as a person, the person you're seeing now, I have the tendency where I will jump around a little bit, but I'll catch myself back on track.
We have some time.
So what happened, who I was before anything business, before getting a job, I kind of want to bring it way back into my teenage days. I think it's very important. So, and this has been relatable for some of the schools that I've spoke at. I wasn't the greatest student. So I wasn't the kid that was getting straight A's. I wasn't the teacher's pet. I was the kid getting suspended all the time. I was the kid getting in trouble. I never did my work. I was barely able to graduate. I didn't have a lot going for me in the academic side of things. So, and I'm sure there's some people that can relate to that. I don't think I'm by myself. So all I would hear all the time was, you'll never amount to anything. You're never going to be able to do anything. Best case scenario, you might get a really good labor job. You may make, and this is from a teacher, not saying any names, Mr. DeLong. Anyway.
I'm sure they're not watching.
Yeah, it'll come around. He might. There might be a chance. But, so I'll never forget teacher conferences. I know I'm probably not going to graduate. Teachers, Mr. DeLong was there. My parents were there. He tells my mom, he's like, don't worry, Nazareth has a really good construction labor industry that he might find himself in. Will he ever amount to anything great? Probably not. He's like, but he'll get by. And so that like really stuck with me.
Yeah.
Because like I looked at my mom, I saw the disappointment. I looked at my dad, I saw the disappointment. And then it's like, look at myself. And I was like, wait, I'm the disappointment. So this guy doesn't think I'll amount to anything. And that always kind of burned where I wanted to do something to kind of be like the I told you so, or like prove you wrong.
Yeah.
So through social media time when I was like trying to like grow my Facebook and, you know, talk and add anybody that I couldn't, find out what's going on in my area, this East Stroudsburg, I got lucky enough. I'm going to say lucky. I got lucky enough where people resonated with a lot of the things that I would post, what I would say. Okay. And through those relationships, people built a lot of trust in me because the jobs I started to get after that were all in sales, and I was taught moral and ethical selling, doing the right thing. You know, it's got to be right by the customer, right by the company, and right by you. And if you have to question any of the things that you're doing throughout a transaction, it is probably wrong. And make sure that, you know, you're not for the short-term gain. You're looking for more of a long-term. You want them to be a customer for life. You don't want to...
You're just not selling them in the moment just for what you're doing.
Right.
There,
Don't get them all hyped up, sell them, never talk to them again, and, you know, they have bad experience. So I took all of that and I started applying those things to like life. And so everybody who's ever bought a car from me, bought a cell phone from me, bought anything from me, they've always had good experiences. I've never had any issues. I communicate with a lot of my customers even still till today. But back in that time, that allowed me to kind of create this credibility where in the school that I went to, East Stroudsburg North, this was December 2017. I was saving money, and I wanted to do something good. I saw a post on Facebook, so I can't take all this credit. I saw a post on Facebook where they're like, how cool would it be to help, you know, kids pay their school lunch debt off? Okay. So I was like, yeah, that would be really cool. I created a fundraiser on Facebook, and I was like, well, I'll match dollar for dollar whatever I raise. Oh, okay. And the goal was to only raise like $1,000. Well, after everything, it was like over $4,000. And I was like, all right, I guess it's time to put my big boy pants on. And because I had to do what I said I was going to do. And that was like super important to me. So I went to my bank, and good thing I've been saving. I didn't spend stupidly. Like my parents were on me for that, you know, like save everything, right? So I did that, and I pulled it out, and I even did like Facebook Live, and I showed people like, here I am at the bank, here I am pulling money out, here is the match. I went live when I went to the school, and I didn't tell the school, so I just kind of like, this is my first time. I just showed up, and
you're here for what now?
Exactly, like I showed up, and there's a guy at the front desk, and he remembered me because we used to walk that way back when I went to school. So I graduated I graduated 2010. I did wind up graduating. You know, I did. Oh, you're right. Yeah. So when I went in, his name is Norman, really nice old guy. I remember him. He's awesome. He was just like, Shively, what are you doing here? And I was like, hey, can I get into the cafeteria? And then he's like, but I need to know, you know, the whole like sticker thing, sign in, ID. Yeah. And I was like, all right, fine, here you go. I just got to go in there, do something. He's like, okay.
Yeah, that doesn't sound suspicious nowadays.
Yeah, so like one of the security guards came down. I wound up knowing who it was. She was still working there ever since I was there. We'll see. Are we paused there? I don't know. I mean, I'll keep going. I don't care.
That's weird. It's never done that before. Yeah, hold on a second.
Who knows? Let's see. I mean, I hear it's still happening, but...
Oh. All right. Well, I think for some reason it got interrupted, but
maybe
we're still recording. So.
Oh, okay. Maybe it'll catch up or something.
No, it won't. It stops now, but to continue it recording...
Oh, yeah,
thing,
that's fine.
It's going to keep going by itself, so
okay.
We can keep talking.
Yeah, we're good. So... the security guard came down, and I was like, oh my God, I can't believe she's still here. Hey, can you help me? I need to get into the cafeteria. And she was like, why? And I was like, come on, like, you know me since I was a kid, and like, can we just go? And she was like, all right. So I walked into the cafeteria. This is right before like their first period of like anybody having lunch at the school. So I forget the times and stuff, but went in there and I spoke to the lunch ladies. One of the lunch ladies was my best friend's mom. So that was kind of my ultimate in to go ahead and say, I know I can get this done. So I said, hey, is there any chance I could just kind of like stand here? My plan is, I saw this thing on Facebook, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like going off, and they're like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was like, no, I'm serious. Watch. So like, I like pull all this money out, you know, it was a few grand. And I was like, look, I have this money. So my idea is any students that come walking by, they're going to go plug in their number. I'm not trying to pay their lunch for today. I mean, I will, but it's not just that. If they carry a balance, I'm going to make sure that the whole balance is paid. And they're like, huh? And I was like, yeah, but like they remember who I was as a kid in high school, and that is definitely not the person that I was then.
Yeah.
So it didn't make sense for any of them. I was like, trust me, it's a good thing. Like, let me just do it. So they let me do it. And every single grade, any student that was there that day from 9th to 12th grade, I stood there for every single one, and I still had a little bit of money left over that I put away, and then I had to get like a check written, and I gave it to the school anyway for future stuff.
Wow.
But because I didn't want to keep any of the money, I didn't want it to seem like I was trying to pay myself for doing any of that.
Yeah.
So every single kid that walked through there, didn't matter who it was, every single debt was paid. Every number that was put in, whatever the balance was. There were some kids that owed $60-something. There were some kids who went up there and they would, on the normal, ask a lunch lady, can we just do today, where they had such a high balance, and after a certain balance, they won't let them eat.
Right,
they won't give them food.
Yeah.
So, that day didn't matter, and I cleared everything. Who knows what's happening now? Who knows what happened after? But it just felt good to go there and do that. And once I hit the senior class, I was there for about an hour maybe. All of a sudden, who walks in? Mr. DeLong, right? And he was like, Shively? And I was like, yeah, hey, how's it going? He's like, you're the one? Why? What are you doing? And I was like, oh, I'm giving back. It's the right thing to do. I've been doing well for myself since I graduated, and I think it's really important to kind of give back where I went. And, do more selfless things and stop looking for the best interest of myself and look out for other people. And he's like, who are you? And I was like, yeah, see, this is what happens when I get older. Right? And I didn't tell
Surprise.
him. Yeah, I didn't tell him then. It wasn't like a throw in the face type thing.
Yeah.
But I was just like, I'm just doing this. It's the right thing to do. It makes me feel good. I've been very fortunate. I worked very hard, and I've been doing well for myself, and I feel like it's the right thing to do. And then he was like, but you? And I was like, seriously? Can we just get over it? Can we just move forward? And then he was like, you know what? That's really cool. We spoke for a while and stuff like that. And later he wound up coming in. This is when I was doing Verizon. And he wound up upgrading his phone and stuff like that. A couple teachers came down. A couple parents came. They showed up to the store.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And they're like, oh, I heard what happened. I guess I was on Snapchat and stuff. Kids were Snapchatting me standing in the line and stuff. So they were just like, yeah, this is the guy. This random guy came in. We're all getting free food today. And I went over to the snack line. Is like, oh, here's cookies. Here's this. Get everything. And it was a good time. Cool. So yeah, so that's kind of my. So that
kind of really started you on a different path, and really kind of seeing how you can give back, and really how that impacts a lot of other people too.
Right.
Okay. Cool.
When my whole life, from just being a teenager on, everything was always about me. So it was what's in my best interest. What's the maximum I could get back. Everything was about me. And I blame that on the people I was hanging out with at the time. So, the people I started to associate with after changed my mind and said, why don't you try doing something for somebody else for a chance, or for change? Okay. And so I did that initiative. And after that, I wanted more, because I was like, wow, I really helped other people. I fed kids today that didn't plan on eating, that were trying to beg the lunch lady, can we just get the one bag lunch today?
Yeah, and obviously that's something you didn't know was happening either. Right, yeah.
Right. I learned that all just through experience. So after that, I just thought, what more can I do for other people? How can I make it less about me and more about other people? And that's when I really started to like sales even more.
Because you weren't seeing it from the side of how much can you sell. You were looking at how much can I do for other people then.
Right. Yeah. It wind up being a thing where I would sit there and genuinely just listen to, hey, what do you got going on? The typical, what brings you in today? But I had more motive behind it. Okay. So when I was trying to find out what brought them in, and they told me that they had a problem, everything else canceled. And I said, go ahead and tell me. Right. So then instead of just suggesting something that would work for me financially and not for them in their problem and wouldn't solve their problem, I was like, you know what? Nah, something tells I need to do the right thing. So literally tell me what you got going on. I'll do all that I can to help you, and let's see what happens. And it just progressively grew from there. When I started doing favors for people, when I started helping other people out, doing right by them, they recognized that, they referred more people, and then naturally what happened is more people came to me because they found out I was doing the right thing. Kind of similar to like what you were saying. That's why I said it stuck to me when you're like, oh, the difference of customer service, and I was going out of my way to do this and do that, and then this is when all the wrath happened because the people who weren't doing that were trying to knock me out. So yeah.
So how? So tell me a little about then branching out on your own.
Yes.
Being an entrepreneur. What because obviously you're saying you're working at more of a corporate company,
right?
And everything, and then branching out. What is that experience like? Because that's not always easy for people either.
No, not at all.
Yeah.
So, so it's scary. When I was a district manager, I even got moved up to be managing partner to run my own store, to literally buy my own store, and that's where I thought oh, I'm an entrepreneur now. I bought a store.
Like this is now your thing. Yeah.
However, in a managing partner, contract, you still have that other partner that has the greater half that is, dictating a lot of what's happening.
Right.
So I felt like I had the freedom in the beginning, but then I realized that it wasn't what I really thought it was. Like, I had all these ideas and I couldn't do any of them because they weren't compliant with. Right. And I was like, wait, but I thought I'm like a business owner now. Like, all right, I'm supposed to be able to just do this.
Right.
And it wasn't that. So I realized that I needed more. And that's when I started the credit repair company. This is the first true, I'm not even going to say true step yet. This is the first avenue that I took.
Like stepping stone.
Right, yeah. And I was like, well, let me see what happens. So I do it on a part-time basis because my main income was the Verizon store.
Right.
And I knew exactly what I was going to do.
There's a transition there, too.
Yeah. I mean, I moved almost 2 hours away. I don't know anybody here in the Berks County area, but I did it because I knew what I had, like what my end goal was. Okay. And I felt like this was the right step to take to get there. But then with that new circle that said, hey, multiple streams of income, you need to be doing more. What if something happens? I said, okay. So they taught me credit repair. And then I started the company. I formed the LLC. I got everything done. And I was like, wait. I was like, I think this is the first step. I thought it was this, but it's this. So when I started that, I would do it on a part-time basis. Like I said, again, Verizon was the main income. But then things started changing there for me, and I kind of wanted to exit myself out of it. I didn't like how certain things were going, and I was just tired of it. People think being that business owner, you're supposed to have all these employees, and you're just going to sit back, relax, and collect all this money, and it's not that.
Yeah, in fact, you work more.
Exactly. You work more, and a lot of times for less. Sometimes, months go by, and you're paying out, right? And you pay yourself last, right? If you get to pay yourself at all some months. So I didn't like that. I didn't like that. I wanted to provide more. So I met a girl here, and it's funny how that happened. I was going to the bank for a loan. I was like, am I going to use my personal money or am I going to use the bank money? And because when I was going to buy the store, there's investment. So I said, am I going to do good
investment
that?
too. Yeah, I mean,
very big. Yeah, it was the biggest thing I ever spent money on ever.
I imagine.
And I was like, do I use my savings or do I go to the bank? So I went to the bank, and that's how we met.
Oh, okay.
And she has 2 kids that are 8 and 4, and I pretty much claim them as my kids now because they're just amazing, and she's great. I'm sure she'll be watching, so hi, babe. But anyway, back on topic. So the investment was big, and I just wanted out. Something wasn't right, so I started paying more attention to the credit repair business. And I said, well, now that I have this family, right? I just got put right into the family situation. How am I going to provide for them? How am I going to spend more time with them?
Right, yeah, because things change on that end too. Right, yeah.
Right,
how you look at everything. Yeah.
I've only had to worry about myself, right? So now I have other people that are going to depend on me too. And, not just financially, I just mean time-wise.
Oh, yeah.
So what am I going to do? So, all right, how do I exit out, Verizon? So I started doing all the proper steps to get everything, unwound and undone. And I started really paying attention to credit repair. Now, all in all, I had guaranteed about $80,000 a year, nothing too crazy, but about $80,000 a year through everything I would make with Verizon, almost as a guarantee. So I left that, right, for the chance.
Yeah.
That I might be okay.
And it is, because as being an entrepreneur, it's not, people like to put it up as this nicer thing, like, oh, you're out on your own,
right,
and everything's going to be great for you then, but it's a risk. It's out there.
So the risk was huge, but the risk was more attractive than staying stagnant and doing the same thing I was always doing.
Mm-hmm.
So one of the many things that I'll probably throw out during this is, I love when people say, when it comes to advice and you're talking to people, look at the person you're talking to. Look at the person you're asking for advice. Mm-hmm. Are they currently where you want to be? So I was like, So I started dialing back.
That's interesting. Yeah.
Right? Mm-hmm. So are they where you want to be? And most times we'll find that answer is no. So we'll consult mom, dad, brother, sister, cousin, uncle, co-worker, best friend for a long time.
Lots of people have an opinion.
Right?
Right.
So they'll consult them and they'll say like, hey, I was thinking of doing this thing. Mm-hmm. What do you think? All right. So we wait and we're excited because we think they're going to have, the same idea as us. It's going to be great, dude. Go do it. All right. 9 times out of 10, you hear all the what ifs, right? Yep. And the what ifs are always the negative. It's what if you fail? What if this doesn't work? What if everything goes bad? What if everybody hates you, right? But not one person will ever say, well, yeah, what if it works, right? It doesn't happen. So when I realized that, I realized I was really on my own, and that's what being a true entrepreneur is. I left the guaranteed money to take a chance, and then instead of asking other people's opinions on, do you think it'll work? Do you think it'll work?
Right.
People have limited thinking, so when
it was up to you to really make that happen. Yeah.
Right. So they're telling you information, they're giving their advice based on their limited thought process. So you have to realize as an entrepreneur that not everybody goes through what you went through. So nobody went through all those experiences that I did. They don't have the vision that I do. They didn't stay up till 3 a.m, most nights, getting so excited and pumped and working on something like I did. So I can't expect them to have the same outlook as me.
Oh yeah, well, and not only that, but there's different industries. People are into different things.
Right.
What really motivates you may not motivate other people. So that's going to be reflected back to you as okay, well, that's cool, but that's not my thing.
Right.
If it's your thing, that's where you really got to pick it up and go with it.
Exactly.
Because it's not their thing.
Yep.
Yeah, and that's why you get those reactions of, I don't really see what you're doing. Maybe you should do something safer. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. And the safer is okay for the right now. Because naturally our brain wants us to, do what's safe. I
routine
forget,
and it's
and that's why there's a schedule to go to work. That's why there's a certain amount of hours. That's why you can only take a lunch for a certain amount of time. And if you fall outside of a structure, you go crazy.
And you got to do it all yourself too.
Right.
Yeah, because it is a lot more there's a lot more responsibility on that end than being put into, whether it's a work schedule or anything else.
Right.
You have to push yourself along, and that's I even know that doing what I do. That's not always easy.
Right.
So how does that translate into then getting into schools, then to going back to different schools in the area and kind of doing the motivational speaking and kind of really speaking to students then? How did that whole thing come about then?
Sure. So I was actually really lucky. Again, this goes right into my circle of influence, right? I speak about this at schools all the time. This is one of my main topics of it's so important to have the right people around you because the people that I started to surround myself with were already doing this. So going back to the statement I said before, when you get advice from people, are they doing what you want to do? Are they where you want to be? So my new circle of influence is financially, emotionally, and actively where I want to be. So I said, hey, dude, how can I be your shadow? Right? I just reached out to him, dude, how can I be your shadow? And he was like, well, I'm going to this school this day. You want to show up? It's 2 hours and change from you. I said, yep, what time am I going to be there? And he's like, oh, we're going to be there 7 in the morning. And I was like, oh, I'm not a morning person. So I was like, okay.
But it's an opportunity.
Right. So knowing that I'm not a morning person, 9, 10 o'clock goes early for me sometimes, So if I got to be there at 7 and it's over 2 hours away, and I count for traffic. You start doing that. So I'm like, wow, I got to be up at like 4:30 in the morning to make sure I leave by like 4:45 because I want every minute of sleep, and then I'm gonna go. So I went. I showed up, and I thought I was just gonna be like almost like a fan, right? Because I was like, dude, I'll get pictures of you and I'll get videos so you can have like clips for Facebook because I'm always watching yours, but like I'll get it for you. You don't have to worry about it. And he's like, great. So it was him and another guy, and he was like, all right, so this is what we're gonna do. I'm going to go up for 20 minutes. Dylan, you're going to go up for 10 minutes. And you're going to go up for 20. I was like, wait. I'm going to do what? Like, go up where? Like, oh, you want me on stage taking pictures of you. Got it. Okay, it's the angles. Got it. And he's like, no, like, you're going to mic up and you're going to go. He's like, you asked for the opportunity and you're going to get it right now. And I was like, do you realize, like, I didn't plan for this. I didn't expect it. I didn't prep anything what to say. He's like, I know. That's why you're going to do it.
Wow. Okay.
So it was almost a sink or swim. It was, you wanted it, here it is.
Yeah,
excuse me, I'm going to give it to you.
the opportunity now. Yeah, right.
And I was like, oh my god, okay. So I went up there and I felt like I butchered it. Right? I felt like I butchered it, but kids clapped after, teachers were happy. It's really cool. We got like these certificates, like the school printed out, and the one teacher came up to me and she was like, I heard this was your first time. And I was like, could you tell? Did you know? Did I say anything wrong? And she was like, no, it's actually really cool. She's like, the guys told me that it was your first time. And honestly, if they didn't tell me, I wouldn't have known you did very well. Boom, confidence booster. And I was like, I want to do this all the time. So,
it is kind of, I've been in that position before, and it's really funny because I don't do a lot of big public speaking to like big crowds, that kind of thing. Yeah. And it is kind of weird because like the first few times I did it, it was like, oh yeah, we'll speak to the crowd about like what you're doing and give them something motivating to because you're in this position now. And and I kind of said a few things, and I'm like, I guess like that was okay. Like it was nothing like I would really want to hear probably. Yeah. And then afterwards, it's like that was really great. Like, you should do more of this. And it's just like, really? Because I don't really think,
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So I know what you mean. It's
what happens is we think of ourselves like we're still normal people, right? We're always going to be normal people. So we think, I had some experiences, I'll talk about it, and hopefully somebody likes it. Right. And then when you get that positive feedback that was bigger than what you expected, it's just like, wait, you liked that was good? Okay, let's roll with it. Let's go. Let's keep going. So,
and I think a lot of that has to do with you look on your phone, on your screen, on YouTube or whatever else it is. You're seeing these people who, they have views, or they're on the screen. Yep. They're doing their thing, but that's not me. I'm a regular person. Right. I don't have a platform for that. I'm not in that position yet. But that doesn't really control all of that. Right. You can do that too. It doesn't. That's not matter of being like a bigger person or having more of a following. That's just more of speaking your mind, getting things out there, and really, trying to help people a lot more than that is anything else. Yeah, exactly.
And that self-doubt, that where you mentioned that's what these people do, but I'm not there. Almost everybody does it.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Right. And that's
what I learned was to think of myself more. And so I realized that, hey, that person is regular just like me. They just spoke to more people than I did to get the opportunity I wanted. Right. And I relate a lot of things like to physical fitness now. That's like a big thing for me. Anything that you learn in the gym, you can apply to business. Because there's things you have to be disciplined, you have to be committed, you have to have an end goal, which is the big goal, but have little operational small goals, small wins throughout the day. And it was big. So when it came down to speaking at the schools, I got my first little taste. It was like getting that first taste of blood, and I wanted more. And I was like, this is cool, I'm pumped. And so I just went for it. So
and you do this regularly now.
Yeah, so now I'll go to schools regularly and, just go and speak to the students. And
what kind of things do you normally, I mean, you don't have to go into a whole big thing, but what is the main points you try to get to the message you get to the students?
So the biggest message is the power of the circle of your circle of influence. Okay. audit your conversations and who you talk to every day. And so if you're looking at the people that you talk to, you know, what are your conversations like? Are they geared towards getting you to that next level you want to be, or are you talking about hanging out this weekend, going to the bar? Okay. Are you going to hang out with your older brother and go to do something? Are you going to hang out to go to the movie theater and meet up with your friends? Are you going out to go do something that's unproductive? Or, you know, are you trying to see if you could get to level 64 in Call of Duty on the weekend? Like, well, like what? Because, you know, all ages are different.
Oh yeah.
So, you know, what are you looking for, right? What are your conversations like, and who are you hanging out with? So I think it's very important to look at those things.
And you're getting a good response.
Yeah, because people start to self-reflect and they're like, wait, you're bad for me. And like, you're bad for me. And then all of a sudden I get feedback from teachers that say like, this kid that wasn't doing so well is actually starting to apply himself. Oh, okay. He's actually trying to do something. So that's one of many topics. The process that I take, which I think is important, is I talk to the staff and I find out, you know, what do you think the biggest problems are at your school specifically?
Oh, okay.
What are you guys seeing? Are you seeing a lot of kids just aren't showing up to school, or when they're there, they're physically there but not mentally there? They're just off doing whatever.
So you're really kind of tailoring the message to and getting feedback right when you're there.
Because I was that bad kid, right? I was the kid who got in fights. I was the kid who stopped showing up to school. I was the kid who didn't do any of my work.
And obviously you recognize that each school is different. Right. They have different, you know, needs for that kind of thing. So yeah, all right, that's pretty awesome.
I think it's really important to find out. And then part two of that, the biggest thing that I got to do that I was most appreciative of was Reading High, right? So I went to Reading High under the Junior Achievement Program.
Okay.
And when I went there, I said, hey guys, I'm going to be straight up honest with you. This may disqualify me. However, this big book you gave me of stuff, I didn't do this in high school. I can't do curriculum. I was like, I have a message. Here's kind of what I'm thinking. Does this align with what you guys are trying to do? And I said, yeah, if you want to do that, you know, as long as you don't go overboard. So I said, okay, let's do it. So I would show up every week. It was on a Thursday, and I would speak to the students. And this one was a little bit different. I wish I could do this with every school. So I got to speak to the students. And this was
smaller groups then?
Yep. Okay. This was just classroom. So I went and I'm speaking to the class, and, you know, we're warming up to each other. I'm telling them about me. They're super surprised. And then they're saying, you know, some of their stories, which I was surprised to hear of, you know, what kids who are 14, 15, 16 going through. Yeah. You know, and I was just like, yeah, like they're adults by now. It's nuts. So we're talking with them. I said, hey, so my goal is I want to speak to all of you in your auditorium. I want to speak to everybody, not just the classroom. Do you guys find any value in what you hear with me? And a lot of them actually said, yeah. And I was like, cool. All right. So I went and I spoke to the teachers and I said, like, hey, if anything ever comes up, give me an opportunity. Long story short, they said yes. And we made, you know, a big auditorium thing. I have it on YouTube, you know, just little clips of it. So I got to speak to them. But what was different about this time was when I sat down with the principal, I did my same routine. What do you think is important here? What do you think the big misses are? What do you think the biggest issues are? He took the initiative and said, hey, why don't we make like a Google Doc? Because I guess they use like iPads and stuff and technology a lot, like within these schools. And he was like, let's get a vote. Let's hear what the students want to hear. And I was like, wait a minute, you can do that? And he's like, yeah. And I said, wow, man, like that was really cool because he cared more about what value are the students going to get out of it. And he didn't want to be the person that got to choose that. So going through that, we got a lot of feedback from it. And, you know, we had a couple different topics they wanted to hear. So I put it all together, and that's how I went out to Reading High. And I think that was probably the most impactful one out of any of the schools that I've done because there was so much participation from the students where they said, this is what we want. And then so I just gave it my all and was like, let's go for it. And it went great. I thought it went great. They were clapping. Everybody was happy. There was a big crowd of kids even after that. I think some of them got in trouble for it. We're like, the bell rang and they were supposed to go, but they were still kind of hanging and they had questions and, can I follow you on Facebook and Instagram and stuff? I was like, yeah, absolutely. Like, and then, the teachers kind of looked at me
and they're like,
the whole,
let's wrap it up.
Yeah, like, let's go. And I was like, oh, I'm sorry. It's so much fun. Like, but yeah, so that's my whole story.
But that's really awesome because it's a lot more structured. It's not something that at least for me, if I was thinking of like a school assembly or someone coming into a classroom, it would seem like a lot more of that is more structured to more of like you said, like the curriculum of here's what we're going to talk about, here's what we do. Basically you're going to sit there and listen to it, and like here's what we have to kind of tell you. And that's back when I was in high school, that's kind of how it went too. But it really seems like you're taking more of the initiative to, talk to the educators, the principals, everyone around you to kind of find out to kind of tailor your message then to what they're kind of looking for. Yeah. And that's great. I mean, that's really cool. I don't think, I don't talk to a lot of people who do school assemblies, but it's, I'm not really sure a lot of people really would do that. Or at least kind of think forward to kind of do that. Yeah. That's really awesome.
Well, I just think it's not about me anymore.
Well, right? Yeah.
It's so
it's having a more of an impact on them because you're able to connect to them.
Yeah. Right. It's like, what do you got going on? What are your hardships? What are the things you're proud of? What are you looking forward to do? When you're graduating. If you're graduating, because just like me, some kids weren't.
Yeah. Yeah.
So since you plan on graduating, are you going to college? Are you getting a job right away? Who wants to start a business? And I kind of got to know them a little bit more based on that because it was also a bigger crowd.
Well, there's different options for people too.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
2% of the people that were sitting there were the ones that already heard me in the classroom, but the rest of them never heard anything before. And so I thought it was really important to say like, well, what are you guys going to resonate with? What is going on in your life right now? And if I can offer something that if I can share a similar experience to let one, you're not alone. Because a lot of kids nowadays, it's a sad thing. They get depressed Yeah. So they have a lot of things going on because they think that they're alone or they can't talk to anybody about it. So when they hear somebody else that I guess like I'm 26, but they consider me an adult because it's so they look at me as this adult figure.
You're old now.
Yeah, I'm old. Like I'm an old man.
Yeah, you're old now.
And
funny how that works now.
Yeah, I know. I was just calling other people old, and now I'm old.
I know. It happens quicker than you think.
But yeah, so that was just overall, it was great because there was so much cooperation with the entire staff and the student body, where it was a great day, and it was for their graduation week. That graduation week was happening. I think it was December 9th was when I was there.
Oh, okay.
And it was during that graduation time. So like, I was the person they said, hey, you're going to set the tone for how the rest of this week goes. So like, if you go in there and suck, guess what's going to happen?
Yeah, right.
And no pressure. I said, okay, cool. Well, I love doing this. Let's go for it. And it was amazing. I loved it. I absolutely loved it.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Wow. I mean, geez, even from everything you've been, saying today, I mean, there's a lot that's on your plate. You're, it's not just a matter of, what are you doing every day? Just kind of go through the grind. I mean, you're out there trying to figure out what new things you can do, what new ways to motivate people. How can you reach out to new people? That's really awesome. Yeah. That's really great.
I like to try to set the bar and then differentiate myself. Because if I do things the way everybody else does it, then I'm just like everybody else, and I don't make any noise. And it's also really hard here. I realize like people automatically know when you're not from Berks County.
Yes,
so like it's like being the elephant in the room for sure. And
it happens. It does.
Yeah, it's like they know like they have this radar or something. I don't know what was installed when you move here.
To me too, yeah.
Like they know when you're not here, so it makes things even harder because it seems like everybody here already has that person that they know. They have that clique. They have those people. They all grew up here. And it's like, who's this outsider guy? And, it's kind of like similar to the story you were telling me when you were trying to grow the business and things were going well. But then all of a sudden you have like the big manufacturer people, trying to, shut you down. Nobody's trying to shut me down or anything. There's
yeah.
But
overall, you're right though.
I find it a little more difficult. So that's why it was so important for me to find a way to like reach out to you and reach out to other people and say like, hey, like I need to start connecting with people, you know, that have an impact on the community. So like I didn't even expect for you to write back. Like,
hey.
I see, like, not that there was anything like with you, but like I've reached out. You know,
we don't really know each other.
Yeah,
so yeah,
right.
Yeah.
You don't know me. You don't know anything about me. This is the first
time we've met.
Yep. This is the first time we're meeting, right? And it's like, well, this guy trusts me to show up somewhere, but like, hopefully he's looked at my stuff and saw that like there's nothing wrong. But like, you know, I don't know, you don't know, and nobody else knew me. So I was like, how do I go about doing it?
Oh yeah, we have a whole investigative team that goes background checks and does all this stuff before you come. All the metal detectors you had to go through to get in.
My finger's still bleeding from the little prick thing. But yeah, no, it was really cool because, you know, there's a lot of people that I've been watching and following, you know, in this area that make an impact. And this is one of, you know, the many places that are doing it. I mean, you cover this stuff for, you know, Reading. So...
Well, thank you.
You know, like it was cool. Like I thought it was like I was excited when I got the message, and I was like, "Wait, I could go Friday at 10? Like, I actually got a chance. Like, let's do it." So yeah. So thanks, by the way.
You're welcome. You know. Yeah. Well, we're gonna end the interview with that.
Yeah.
That's an awesome place to end.
Yeah.
So on that note, if you want to support Reading Magazine, you can go to rdgmag.com/membership, and it's only $5 a month. It keeps everything we do here free. Available for everyone, and putting out more content too, which is something that's needed nowadays. Yeah. So, Dylan, where can they find you? Where can they connect with you and reach out to you?
Sure. Honestly, guys, just add me on Facebook. I don't know if I'll be like tagged on this or anything like that, or how that works.
Yeah.
So when you see the tag, you know, my name is Dylan Shively. You can follow me on Facebook, Instagram. I started doing TikTok. That was pretty fun. You know, gotta try to like stay young and stuff. No, it's actually really fun. It's a good way to do stuff.
So you're on TikTok now?
Yeah, it's fun. I mean, you got to resonate with the kids, you know? Like, the kids are on TikTok. So, you know, they think, like, Facebook's for old people.
Yeah.
So, gotta do TikTok now. But, yeah, so anyway, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Snapchat.
Just talk to them in 10 years and see what they say.
Exactly. You can find me, you know, anywhere there. Please feel free to reach out, you know. Maybe you're going through something I'm not just for kids, right? I'm for adults too. So like, you know, if you're going through anything, if you're having, you know, any issues, whether it's a financial hardship or just anything you want to talk about, or you don't feel, you know, like you're in a positive environment, or you want to change bad enough and you just don't know what steps to take, you know, reach out to me, talk to me. I literally love helping people. I have zero care about any financial gain. I don't charge people to talk to me. Right? If you message me, I'm not gonna charge you to talk to me. Like I just seriously like want to dig deeper into like the Berks County, Reading area, and as much of an impact as I had at home, you know, in East Stroudsburg, I want to do that same thing here because I'm not going anywhere. I live here, and you know, I feel like I need to be a better person in the community. So. Like, my goal is to be the best, like, father, boyfriend, you know, soon-to-be husband. That'll happen. You know, just leader, you know, person in the community. Like, I work every single day on trying to improve those things. I want to be the best of the best. I'm going to set the example. And some people don't know where to start. So, like...
And he can help you.
Yeah, I can help. Just talk to me, right? I'll give you my experiences. I'll tell you what I can do, what I can help with.
That's great. That's awesome. Thanks for being here.
Thanks. Appreciate it. Thanks again for having me.